Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. If you're a reader, you might know the situation where you have rearranged your bookshelves over and over and over again, but then a few months later you're just like, I'm not really loving it right now, so I need to change it again. I'm just in the mood for a little change of the bookshelves, so that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm going to show you how they look right now. And then I'm going to change up a little bit of the arrangement. And then I'm going to show you how it turned out. And yeah, that's kind of the plan for today. So I would say I'm just going to start off by giving you a little bit of a tour, and then we'll just start, I guess. So I'm going to start off with like my main bookshelves. So they're right behind my door. Well, you can see that one if the door is open, but those are directly behind my door. And this one contains some snow globes of different cities that I've visited. This is the shelf of classics that I have, and I actually haven't read many of these because I forget that I have them. So I want to move those that I haven't read over to my like unread shelf or my TBR shelf. Then below that is like some random books that I have. Below that is random nonfiction. And below that we have like some queer romances and some like literary fiction, I guess. And below that is stuff. Up here next to like the first shelf, wow. So this is my TBR shelf, and up here are the Hunger Games and the Shatter Me series. Below that are also some fantasy series, and I also have a little bat that my sister got me. Below that is like my current or like my TBR that I'm more so in the mood to read right now. Below that we have some like romances and also 2 mysteries. And below that is like Sarah J. Maas books that I have, which are mostly my sister because the ACOTAR series belongs to her. And then next to that is like literary fiction. And below that is some really random nonfiction. Up here we have the Folk of the Air series and also the Throne of Glass series and a little cute bunny. Below that is my Kindle on, like, it's not really a Kindle stand, but I called it a Kindle stand. And some Alice Oseman books and Emily Henry. Then below that is my Rick Riordan shelf with my Percy Jackson special edition, which I love. Thank you to my sister. And below that is this is like random, but it's like some literary fiction and mostly Taylor Jenkins Reid, some Casey McQuiston books, The Love Hypothesis, and yeah. Over here I have my Heartstopper series and also my Heartstopper special edition. Below my record player I have books that are related to One Direction. So I have like their autobiography. Below that I also have some sapphic romances. So the plan for my shelves, I actually want to do nothing about these. I think this right here is probably going to remain. Then what I definitely want to do is I want to put all of my snow globes on top of my bookshelf, because then I can still see them, but they don't take up bookshelf space because I have an obsession and books are something that needs space. And then I actually want to move the TBR shelf over here so that my books that I want to read are like, because right now it's like read books, TBR, read books, and that doesn't make any sense in my head, so I want to switch these basically and maybe also rearrange them a little bit. Like I like the idea of having a shelf with my like more immediate TBR, so I might figure something out so that it makes more sense. And then I want to have at least one free shelf where I can put all of the books that I read throughout the year, because obviously I am trying to tackle my TBR, so I need space to move them somewhere, and I like having like the shelf, so I don't know how exactly it's going to work, but I'm gonna figure something out. I'm going to get started on rearranging the bookshelf. So let's get started. I'm going to listen to some music and maybe later on to my audiobook. But Alfie's EP, All Dressed Up for Nothing, came out yesterday and I've been listening to that a lot, so definitely would recommend. Okay, that's not the point. Let's start.
I met a stranger, but with your face, taking a trip into the old days, over my shoulder looking both ways. Open your eyes and pull the mask down. Do you recognize her in the past now? What a surprise, I'm coming back round. I'll be somewhere else I haven't been. I'll jump right in this time machine for you, and we're meeting for the first time. Again and again and again and again, every press restart, gotta win your heart in the end, from a friend of a friend of a friend now. Again and again and again and again, the power lands into my hands, so now and then it's the hours spent just to meet you again and again. Every day stuck in your own mind, I make a mistake and I can rewind, patch it up like a pair of old Levi's. Open your eyes and pull the mask down. Do you recognize her in the past now? Oh, what a surprise, I'm coming back round. I'll be somewhere else I haven't been.
Hello, welcome back. It's later. And I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. That one stayed pretty much the same. All of the other shelves also stayed the same. I only changed these two, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a more in-depth tour now. Up there are all of my snow globes. I know it's a lot. Up here are still the Hunger Games and the Shatter Me series. They just switched shelves. Then below that are other fantasy series. Below that are like romances and mysteries. Then we have the classics. And below that is like, it's still the same. It's Sarah J. Maas and like literary fiction, but also not, because I just realized that those two are not literary fiction, but that's fine. And below that is like all of my nonfiction. Up here is my like immediate TBR, because it didn't fit on that shelf, which is kind of bad, but it's okay. Below that is an empty shelf, because as I said, I want to like be able to move books that I read over here. So yeah, that's empty for now, but I think it will motivate me to read more so that I can put books in that shelf. Below that are my queer romances and 2 classics that I read. Below that are my nonfiction books that I have actually read. And then below that is still the random shelf with like books that I have read that are different genres, but I didn't really know how to organize them. And below that is still random stuff. So that was me reorganizing my bookshelves. It wasn't like that big of a change, but I still wanted to get it done, and this kind of motivated me. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It wasn't too big of a change, but I still really like that the TBR stuff is over here now, and that I have like my immediate TBR up here. And I also think it's like a good idea to have an empty shelf, because one, it makes me want to fill the shelf, and two, I have space to put the books that I read. So that's good. That is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed me organizing my bookshelves and getting like a little bit of a bookshelf tour. If you would like a more in-depth tour, let me know, or just let me know what kind of videos you would like to see, because I am always interested to see what other people might suggest. So yeah, and yeah, if you enjoyed watching, maybe like, comment, or subscribe if you haven't. I would really appreciate it. And you can also follow me on TikTok or Instagram if you want to. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!